Scientific literature forms the basis of most academic research papers. In this video, we'll talk about finding the best possible sources for your paper. Your instructor may ask you to use scientific literature. While it's best to clarify exactly which type of source they want you to use, this usually means scholarly journal articles, also known as peer-reviewed or academic literature. These are in-depth, evidence-based scholarly investigations of a narrow topic. You can typically recognize a scholarly journal article because it has an abstract at the beginning and is structured in IMRAD format. IMRAD stands for Introduction, Methods, Results, and Discussion. This format is used to present a research study, including the methods used to investigate the research question, the results or findings of that study, and a discussion of the implications of these findings, as well as how they fit into the broader conversation that other researchers are having around this topic. It's important to understand that other non-scholarly or non-scientific sources are not necessarily bad. It's just a matter of good versus better. Here's an example of an article you might find through a general Google or internet search. It's from USA Today, which is a respected national newspaper. It was written by a team of journalists and includes an investigation of how racism affects the ways that COVID-19 impacts communities of color. It's in-depth, well-researched, and appeals to a broad audience. For most purposes, it's a good source. But when it comes to doing scholarly research, like you are for this course, scholarly journal articles like this one here are even better. They're written by subject experts or scientists rather than by journalists. They're based on research studies conducted by those subject experts, are well referenced with citations to other scientific literature, and are peer-reviewed, meaning they've been reviewed, edited, and approved by other expert researchers in the same field. They target a scholarly audience, so the information you find in these articles will be more in-depth than what you might find in a newspaper or other source on the web. So again, those other sources like USA Today or a news website aren't necessarily bad. It's just that scholarly or scientific literature is reliable, detailed, evidence-based, and written by experts, which makes it the best possible evidence to use for your paper. There may be exceptions to that rule sometimes, but in general, if your instructor is asking you to use the scientific literature, they mean scholarly or peer-reviewed journals for these reasons. Before you search, there are a few things to think about. First, do you know what you're looking for? You most likely have a topic in mind, but is it specific or detailed enough to find articles? If you only have a very broad idea of your topic, you're going to find thousands of results, and you'll have a hard time digging through all of them to find one that's exactly right. Spend some time reflecting on your topic before you start searching, and this will save you time. Some people find it helpful to use concept mapping or mind mapping for this purpose. Let's say I want to search on COVID-19. There are tens of thousands of articles on this topic, ranging from vaccine trial results to nursing practice guidelines to topics of social justice. And I don't want to dig through all of those. I just want to focus in on what's relevant to my paper. So I sketch out a concept map which looks like this. There are multiple aspects to my topic, and writing them out in this way helps me to narrow down and also identify key words that I can use as search terms to be specific when I'm looking for literature. If you don't want to do a concept map, think about if you were doing a PowerPoint presentation. What would each slide say? How would you break down the topic for your audience members? Or what if you were teaching a class? What are the various topics that you would need to cover in order to help your students understand the big picture by the end of the class? Finally, try talking through the topic with a friend. What evidence do you need to have to convince your friend why your interpretation of the situation is the correct one? This evidence that you've identified is what you'll be searching for. While you can find scholarly literature through general internet searches, it's always best to start on the UIC library website. Whether you use the main library search or one of our specialized databases, library searches help you cut straight to that scientific literature and easily exclude things that might be what we call popular or journalistic sources. Another benefit is that by searching through the library website, you'll more easily access full text. This is especially important when you're off campus because you want to be able to access all of the journals that UIC subscribes to. So let's take a look at how to find some articles on our topic. Starting here at the UIC Library homepage, I'm going to use the main library search. Remember I said there are thousands of articles on my broader topic, which is COVID-19. If I just search for that term, you'll see article results come up on the left-hand side. But you can see that these are very scientific and clinical topics, and they're not related to my public health area of interest. So I want to be more precise with my search terms. I'm going to add a couple of keywords from my concept map to narrow down to articles about COVID-19 and systemic racism. You can see the first few results that come up are already closer to my topic of interest. I'm going to click on More Articles to see the full list of results, and then find the checkbox on the left-hand side for peer-reviewed journals. Remember to sign in with your NetID and password. When you find an article that looks interesting, click on the link that says Available Online, and then find a link under Full Text Availability to access the article in a PDF format. I encourage you to look at the first few peer-reviewed articles that you find through the library search and compare them to what comes up in a general internet search. I think you'll see that the scientific journal articles will be more in-depth and therefore stronger evidence to use as a foundation for your paper. If you have any questions about finding references for your paper, please use the Contact Us link on the library website to request our help. You can contact us through email, over the library chat, or by online appointment via WebEx or Zoom. We're always happy to help.